Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd share with you what I eat in a day. So ideally, first thing in the morning, I like to start my day with a big glass of celery juice. Here I have 24 ounces. After I've had the celery juice, I wait about 20 to 30 minutes and then I'll have a big glass of water, as you can see. And I'm really trying hard right now to add lemon juice to my water because lemon is so incredibly good for you. It's especially good for your liver and it's an excellent source of vitamin C. So I'm trying hard right now to add some lemon juice to my water in the morning. And after I've had my water, I make some coffee. I absolutely love coffee. If you saw my last What I Eat in a Day video, I actually drank quite a bit of coffee in that video, which is really unhealthy, but I have cut back to 1 cup of coffee a day, and for me, that's great right now. As you can see, it is pretty dark. That is because I like to wake up about an hour before the rest of my family starts waking up. So I get up at about 5 a.m. and I like to just have a cup of coffee alone while it's still warm before the kids wake up. And as you can see here, I'm pouring my husband a cup of coffee. This is a Friday morning and I always pack him coffee, breakfast, and lunch to bring to work. So right now we are having some chocolate peppermint almond milk creamer, which is so yummy, but I like to mix it with a little bit of the Silk half and half creamer just to dilute it a little bit. And now I am making my favorite apple cinnamon oatmeal. I don't know about you guys, but now that it's officially fall, I'm all about apple cinnamon everything, and apple cinnamon oatmeal is super yummy. So all I'm doing is dicing up about 3 apples and a few dates, and it's so incredibly simple. I just put it in a pan with a little bit of water, some cinnamon, and I just let the apples slowly cook on a low medium heat until the apples are soft. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely amazing. Definitely try it and let me know what you think. And it smells so amazing too. And then what I like to do is just cook the oats according to the package direction. I'll put a little bit of almond milk, some maple syrup, the apple cinnamon date mixture, and a little extra cinnamon and sometimes some walnuts on top. And I'm telling you, this is the yummiest breakfast in the world. I actually could eat this every single day. I love it that much. And just a little side note, I actually eat oatmeal for breakfast pretty much every single morning. It's my favorite breakfast and I cook it so many different ways. So if you're interested in more oat recipes, just let me know. But here is the finished apple cinnamon oatmeal. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, I put a few walnuts, some cinnamon, maple syrup, and a little bit of almond milk, and it's absolutely delicious. Okay. So now I'm getting ready to homeschool my kids, and I like making a big giant mug of tea to sip on while I help my kids with their schoolwork. Today I had some dandelion and peppermint tea mixed together. Dandelion tea is so incredibly good for your liver, but it's not my favorite flavor, so I mixed the peppermint tea with it just to change the flavor up a little bit, and I actually really like it a lot. Okay, so for lunch today, I decided to make up a recipe for homemade black bean soup. Initially, I had planned on making a big giant green smoothie for lunch. I really like having green smoothies, but the weather was really rainy and gloomy and cool, and I didn't want a smoothie. We all kind of wanted something warm and comforting. So my daughter actually suggested that I make a black bean soup and use up some of the leftover black beans that I had on hand from Tex-Mex night the night before. And I agreed with her. That sounded really good. So what I decided to use were onions, celery, and carrots. I finally chopped those up. I actually think it would have been really yummy if I had some bell peppers on hand, but I didn't. But if you do and you want to try this recipe, definitely throw in some bell peppers because I think that would be really good. And by the way, I will try to link the recipe below if you want to try this soup out because it actually turned out really good. So I put the carrots, onion, and celery in the pot, and then I put in some chili powder, some cumin, some salt, and garlic powder, as well as the black beans, some vegetable broth, and tomato sauce. And I kind of cooked everything until it all came together. And I didn't show it in here, but I used an immersion blender to partially blend up the soup. And it might not look really pretty, but I'm telling you, this was the yummiest soup ever. All right, now I'm on to dinner. Like I said, it is Friday today, and my daughters have dance Friday night, so I typically make kind of a quick, easy dinner. So tonight I'm making breakfast for dinner. I'm making some scrambled tofu with onions and spinach and some roasted potatoes and sweet potatoes. You guys, this is really a simple dinner. I make this probably once or twice a month, and it's super yummy. And honestly, I think it's a staple plant-based meal. So all I'm doing right now is just chopping up the potatoes and sweet potatoes, throwing them in a bowl that I will season shortly. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and chop up the onion that I will be putting in the scrambled tofu. Quite honestly, you can make scrambled tofu so many different ways. You can make it kind of more Tex-Mex with black beans and kind of like a lot of chili powder and cumin and flavors like that, or you can make it kind of the way I'm making it. You can add no veggies to it, whatever tickles your fancy. But like I said, today I'm using some onions and spinach in the scrambled tofu. We didn't really have a ton of veggies today, so I wanted to sneak in a extra serving or two of veggies into our dinner. So I'm just finely chopping up the onion. Now I'm seasoning the potatoes. Quite honestly, you can use whatever seasonings you like for the potatoes. I typically use garlic, onion powder, some salt, which is in that jar, and paprika, and I just mix it all together, and I'll put it on a lightly greased baking sheet and bake it at about 425 degrees until the potatoes are soft and a little crispy on the outside. You guys, I love potatoes. I could eat them every single day. Potatoes are just super filling and yummy, and honestly, they're really good for you too. All right, so now I'm getting ready to get the scrambled tofu ready. So all I'm going to do is drain the water off the tofu. And then what I like to do to like press the water out, which most people know how to do, just instead of using paper towel, I'll just use a clean dish towel and press out the tofu. Now, while the tofu is getting pressed out, I guess, I'm just going to lightly cook the onions in some vegetable broth. Then I like to throw the tofu into the pot and just use a potato masher and mash the heck out of that tofu until it's like the consistency that I'd like it to be. Quite honestly, you can just crumble it with your hands, but I just use a potato masher, and it's a little bit of an arm workout right there. So I'm just going to mash it until I get it the consistency that I like, and then I will start adding the seasonings to the scrambled tofu. So I don't really follow a recipe, but I typically put in some turmeric, cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, pepper, and nutritional yeast, and it turns out good every single time. I mean, you can Google recipes. I will put what I did below in the description if you're interested, but essentially I'm just going to put the seasonings in, mix it all together, and once the tofu is cooked, I will go ahead and add in a ton of spinach. As you can see, just as much or as little as you like, but I put quite a bit in, and I just stir it and cook it until the spinach is wilted, and then you're good to go. There you can see, doesn't that look so good? Scrambled tofu is seriously so yummy. All right, so here is the finished dinner. Scrambled tofu with onions and spinach and roasted potatoes. You guys, this was so good. Definitely try this if you haven't tried this before. Thanks for watching.